Okay, chapter 4-8. I give you this right triangle. We've already learned all of this. This is nothing new. I'm giving you another section. Do you remember whenever I gave you that packet and we had all the triangles on there? And I said, now find everything out about the triangle that you can, all the sides and all the angles. Do you remember that packet? That's what this section is today. So I've already taught it to you. You already know it. It's just a matter of you applying it now. Okay? So with that said, I give you this triangle. Letter C is generally always the right triangle, the right angle. Capital C. A is an angle, and B is the other angle. Now, all the capital letters are always the angles, which means all the lowercase letters are all the sides. Now, where does little a go? Across from big A. Where does little b go? Across from big, capital B. And where does C go, which is the hypotenuse? It goes across from the right angle. Do we all understand that, yes or no? So caps are angles. Not angels. Did I get it again? And the lowercase are your sides. Okay? Now, in your textbook, I'm doing a homework problem. This is number 6.
That means the 25 would be really good.
25. Look in your book, please. Section 4-8. Problems 1 through 10. It says solve the triangle, the right triangle shown in the figure. Round your answers to 2 decimal places. So, I give you A and C are 2 side lengths. What you need to do is find angle A, angle B, angle C, side A, side B, side C. Side A is 25, side C is 35. What is angle C? It's 90 degrees. So if I have my little triangle here, there's my triangle. Here's C, here's A, here's B. A is 25, B is going to be, we don't know. C is going to be 35. Do we all see our triangle there? What you have to do is find out everything else. So how do I go about finding out my angles? Well, what's the obvious thing you should find first? The missing side. So how do I find that missing side? A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So A is 25. B squared, we don't know. C squared is going to be 35 squared. To tell me B is equal to the square root of 35 squared minus 25 squared. So what I want everybody to do is get out their calculator. What I want you to do is get a new document. You want the document to be a calculator page, and you're going to be in degree mode. Why do we want to be in degree mode on this? Because all of our angles, we know that's a 90-degree angle, so we like to use things in degrees. So we're going to go to settings in general, and your angle is going to be degree, and hit OK. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to type in the square root of 35 squared minus 25 squared and hit enter. And what does that give me? 24.49. It says in the directions to go 2 decimal places. So now that I know what B is, it's 24.49. I come over here and I write it in my blank. So I have all 3 of my sides, correct? Now what do I find? I need to find the angle. So how do I find an angle? I'm going to use the information that I was given, which is 35 and 25. That's what I was given. If I use the other pieces of information, I may have messed up a calculation, correct? So if I have messed up a calculation, is that going to be very useful for me to be able to do this? So use what's given, and now tell me, if I want to find angle B, what is 25 according to angle B? And what is 35 according to angle B? Hypotenuse. What trig function deals with adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine. So the cosine of angle B is going to be equal to 25 over 35. How do I get rid of the cosine? I cannot divide by it.
It's so they connect the negative.
So it's going to be the arc cosine of both sides of the cosine of beta is equal to the arc cosine of 25 over 35. Those cancel out and I find beta, and all I have to enter in my calculator is the cosine inverse of 25 over 35. So I go back to my calculator page, and I'm going to hit trig, and I'm going to do cosine inverse, 25 divided by 35, and hit enter, and what degree does that give me? 44.42. Okay? So now I found angle B. Now how do I find angle A? Very easy concept here. All you have to do is take 90 minus 44.42, and you are going to get, if you do that, 90 minus, just so that everybody can see it, you can see the 45.58. So I have found all of my information on the entire triangle. Do we understand how to do 1 through 10? Yay or nay? Who said no? No? What did you not get? Do you understand why I chose cosine? Are you good now? Okay. All right. So now the next thing is going to be number 11 through 14. It says find the altitude of the isosceles triangle. Shown in the figure, round your answers to 2 decimal placers. Now, do you see that there's 2 triangles above the directions? Do you see that there are 2 pictures above the directions there? Evil children. One is the first triangle is for problems 1 through 10. The second triangle is for problems 11 through 14. Do we all get that? It's an isosceles triangle. So if it's an isosceles triangle, there's your isosceles triangle. Do you see it? Okay. Now, what does this mean? That I have theta is equal to 52 and b is equal to 4 inches. Where's your b? Where's your theta? Very good. Theta is going to go right here, and theta is going to go right here. This whole thing is b, which is 4. Do we understand that? Now, what's an altitude?
How high up?
How tall it is?
From the opposite side, but it's from the angle from a vertex to the opposite side of that vertex, making a right angle. So what we're doing is we're going to the tip of that triangle, and we're dropping down from there and making a 90-degree angle. Okay? And making a 90-degree angle. Okay? So if we're making a 90-degree angle, what is actually happening with that isosceles triangle? It's cutting that base in half, which means now this is 2 and this is 2. So what we actually have going on here just so that you can see this, you have this. You have 52, you have 2, and then you have your altitude, which is x. Why is it x? It said to find the altitude. Do I know it?
Nope.
Since I don't know it, I let it equal x. So now, what is this side to according to the angle theta of 52? It's adjacent to it. And what is the x? Opposite. What trig function deals with opposite and adjacent? What does? So the tangent of 52 degrees is going to be equal to my opposite, which is x, over my adjacent, which is 2. Do we see that, yes or no? So how do I solve this thing for x? I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 because that's the way I'm going to eliminate that 2, and I'm going to have x by itself. So I come back over here, and I'm simply going to take 2 times trig, which is going to be the tangent of 52 degrees, and I'm in degree mode, so all I have to do is hit enter. And what is that length of my altitude? 2.56 inches. So x is equal to 2.56 inches. Do we understand that, yes or no? So that's how you're going to do problems 1 through 14. The rest of the moral application problems, it's the height. You need to just find the right triangle every time. Okay? Any questions over tonight's homework? We good? Okay, the rest of the time is yours.